I've got Chris from Battlefront Miniatures with me today, and we're going to be having a look at what could have happened with the British following World War II if it, kind of didn't settle down.
Absolutely. So the Cold War goes hot in 1985. Absolutely. So, yeah, those of us that have played Team Yankee in the past are going to be well aware of the British. They've had an army book out already a couple of years ago now. That was called Iron Maiden. We now have our new book for the version 2. And since Team Yankee has become World War III Team Yankee,
right.
And you can see obviously in our other video we discuss in more detail why we've changed the name slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But the new British book introduces some new units
to
help those that are fighting the NATO cause, shall we say, against communist aggression. We've got some new units in here, but it doesn't replace the old book. So we'll have a quick look through the book in the course of our little chat today.
So updates to rules, to units, to infantry,
so it updates the rules in as much as it introduces new formations.
Yep.
It doesn't replace the old book. So if anybody's got the old Iron Maiden book, then you can still use that.
Right.
This just gives options should people want to take some of our new kits, some of our new options we've got.
So it's not a must-have for anyone playing continuous, but it's going to make it so that you can...
Absolutely, Anybody who wants to start a British Army, this is the book to get because you've got so many more options in here. There's some new pictures, there's new painting guide in here and everything. So it's a chunky book, this one.
I guess before this one with the original book, the British were, they used a lot more of the American tanks. They were not quite standalone. Now they can be?
So, the British had all their own tanks, because in Iron Maiden and in this book, you've got Chieftains, which was their main battle tank, sort of the late 70s coming into the 80s. We also had the FV-432, which was the Armoured Personnel Carriers. Again, still in this new book, still in Iron Maiden, because units in 1985 still had these vehicles. But what we're introducing is actually British-built tanks, Challenger 1. We've also got the Warrior as well. And we've also got the American-built tanks, the M109 and the MLRS, which is the sort of the multiple launch rocket system. God's thumb. It literally takes out a whole grid square on a map. That is its sole purpose. American-made, and we've now got them coming out in new plastic kits. So we'll go through them in a little bit. I've got some tester models here that we can show off.
Right. So what were they previously? Were they the resins or were they metals?
So the MLRS wasn't a kit. That is a completely brand new kit that we've brought out for the British book, which will tie into the American and NATO's. The M109 was previously a metal and resin kit. The plastic kit is obviously lightweight. You get more in the box for better value of your money, and the detailing's obviously better on plastic as well.
And we like it because it weighs less for shipping.
A lot less for shipping and a lot less for your army bag as well. And also we've managed to put extra options onto that sprue as
great,
well.
aren't they? You can get way more on a sprue than put in the cast.
It's different options, different sort of added bits to the model, and the detail. I haven't actually got some of the older kits here with me, but if you were to put the two side by side, you will see the difference.
Can we have a look at a sprue? Because
we absolutely can. So while we're on it then,
since we're on it now,
so the M109, this is the sprue for it here. And as you can see, you've got your main parts of it. You've got your sort of top deck, bottom deck there. You've got your turret and tracks. So that's the same as any variant. But as you can see, just here, this is the long M109. So that is the one that the British and the Americans would use. And many other NATO countries. But if I just spin it around here, you've also got the short barrel version, which is the M109G. So that's the West German variant. Previously, that was two different kits, and you had to either buy one or the other. And you have the two metal sort of bits in each kit. So if you bought the M109G, but I needed the M109, you're stuck with a useless bit of kit essentially. Now it's all on the one sprue. You've also got your normal options for open and closed cupolas there, but we've also snuck in some sort of jerry cans as well, some 50 cal there. And this part here, this is actually the sort of the lock and load where they keep the barrel down if it's being transported by rail or air. Previously on the old model, it was actually built into the resin. It was quite chunky, didn't quite look right. And if you ever actually put the barrel down and was to think, that comes up, it wouldn't quite fit. Whereas this is just slightly longer and actually fits. So you can actually have it in a closed or open position. And I have got one here. This is a test shot model that we had delivered to our office in Nottingham. And you can see it's actually really detailed on there as well. So you've got obviously the detailing on the sides, the tracks, the top, and you can actually see, because we didn't plug it in, but this is the option that you can have for obviously the gun. So you can just change the bottom bit, and you can then plug in the smaller version,
so
the M109G.
I guess you could magnetise it, or just pull it out and plug it in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to magnetise it. I'm probably going to magnetise it for my different forces, because if you can have it in an American colour scheme, you could use it as sort of divisional support or anything like that. But yeah, that's the one of the new kits that we've got, and it's so new it's not even painted, that one yet.
no, the other ones we have are painted.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to show how good plastic sprues are, because you obviously get the entire sprue and there's all that space to use.
Yes.
So you can put so many options on it. That's why you've got jerry cans. You can put the little.
We've got all the little
touches.
bits, whatever. I mean, Tim Adcock, who is a miniature designer of a lot of these, as well as Will over in New Zealand, and Evan and all the designers, they're all working with these plastics now, and they're just like, right, I've got a bit of space there. What can I fill it with?
What can I get
and it's like, okay, let's put a jerry can on there. Let's maybe put some extra tools or an extra couple of options of machine guns, whether it's a 50 caliber or maybe a GPMG, depending on what army is using it, and it all fits on there. They did exactly the same with a lot of the Flames of War kits and things like that in the past, and they've just got the different armour. And also when we discuss the Challengers and the Warriors later on, they've actually got up armoured versions on the same sprue, so you can make it as an up armoured or a sort of a regular armoured. It's not a down armoured at all, it's regular armoured.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was going to kind of go through the book a little bit with you today. So this is our new book. This is Team Yankee British. So the first thing that people see on the book here is that it's got a different picture on the front to Iron Maiden. What you can see on there is the Challenger 1 tank, which gives the clue of the game away, and it's also got the new logo on there as well. And you can see from some of our boxes here, and when we get some close-ups of them, these are the new logo we've got, so people can differentiate between older box sets and newer box sets. Just because we've moved over to the new version of Team Yankee, which straight away tells people what the game's about. Team Yankee could be very, what's it about? Whereas World War III, that's where the setting is, that's where we're going with it.
That tells you
everything
everything in one go.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is the World War III Team Yankee British book. Some key changes then, as we said about the Iron Maiden, is it's got new formations in it. So straight away you'll get the Challenger armoured formation. That's the first one you'll see. And the Challenger kit is very similar to the Chieftain in as much as the components, but it's a whole brand new design kit. It's got all the different options on there for ROM 4 armour, which is the upgraded version of the armour, which the Americans actually used on their M1A1 Abraham tanks as well. So it's a lot of very sort of shared assets, and very much like the Chieftain kit, because the Chieftain kit had regular armoured version Steel Brew. Steel Brew was the extra armour on the turret. On there, But this is a whole new kit. It's been designed from the ground up, and it's again, so new. I've only got two of them here.
We'll be taking a look at those in the next video in more detail. What's different with them? What you can look for.
Absolutely, and I'll show you all the different options we've got on there as well. Stay tuned for that one, definitely. We've also got the Warrior. So this is the APC, the Armour Personnel Carrier for the mechanised companies. And this is quite a nice little tank. I played with these when I was in the army as a reservist, and we loved them. They were great little things speeding around the place.
They're quite cute for a tank.
Yeah. I think if you can have cute as a tank, I get that. And again, got the options for the up armoured. It's got the options for the standard version on there, and you'll find. Essentially, this is not a replacement for the old mechanised company. It's another option that you can have. It's got its pros, it's got its cons.
Nothing's become redundant because of the new.
No, far from it. All this does is basically makes the British more adaptable to how the changes are coming in Team Yankee for version 2. But the World War III Team Yankee has obviously changed some of the rules, so this just makes them adaptable. I mean, the Warriors, they can run around with a Milan that actually sort of screws onto the top of the turret, and the gunner inside just fires a missile on the move. That's quite cool. Everyone likes a missile on the move, but that's one of the options we've got for it. Then from Iron Maiden, you've got your Chieftain armoured formation. You've got your FV432 mechanised company, which say the Warrior is another option to take. You've also got your helicopters. You've got your recce squadrons as well, which are the Spartans, the Scorpion Scimitars. They were the smaller little tracked vehicles. Okay. And then we've also now got the wheeled recce squadron. So this is basically the Fox just here. So this is a little armoured car on wheels. It's got four wheels.
Yeah, it looks fab. It
does. It's a really nice little kit. And again, it's only about 5 pieces, this kit. So it's literally glue, and it's good to go. Loads of different options on there for different cupolas. And I'll try and bring it up into the close cam there. But yeah, basically you can see that this was, again, so new. We quickly dry brushed it, and it's not even finished. Yeah, now I'll try and get it.
We'll have a proper
We'll go through, absolutely. But that's just another one of our kits. So
it is great. That one's
even now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new kits. And that's not even all the kits that we've got coming out for the British to go. So we've also got the support units, as we've said. So we've got M109s. In the book as well, we've got the MLRS, which is that multiple launch rocket system. Another one we've got is a new anti-aircraft battery, which is a Chieftain Marksman. So this is the box set here for it. So it's a Chieftain body on the tank.
With its double turret.
Yeah, and it's got basically the double sort of anti-aircraft gun that just plugs in the top. And that is a resin piece that we've done to use the existing plastic kit.
Right, okay.
So you can just basically plug it on top and it's good to go. And that one's, I say, another new kit we've brought out brand new.
Yeah.
That's one of the only ones that I've actually got in a box here today, because all the other ones are still en route. That's how fresh and hot these are. Yeah. But what you can do as part of the new Team Yankee rules is, unlike Iron Maiden, you can actually take a black box formation in the book as a support formation for another formation. So those of you that haven't played that particular rule, have played Flames of War, will know about this. But what it means, and I'll try and quickly show you under the cam here, because this is one of the key parts of it, is all the boxes at the top here are classed as black box formations.
Right.
Okay. Yep. So when you're building your army, what you basically have is your mandatory, you must take this. Can you see just here?
Yeah.
So if I try and get that under the cam for you, you get these here. These are your mandatories, you must takes.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to spend the full points on taking a HQ and 2 troops, but you wanted to buy a whole warrior mechanised company, you could actually then take a troop of challengers, say 4 or 5 or 3, as 1 or 2 if you wanted to, as support formations. Right. And that means that people and players of the game get a lot more choice on how to build their army. Yeah. Whereas before it was very much you must take this, and then you have to tweak what you take because of the points and stuff. Now it's very much more open.
It's opened up a lot more play style.
Of course it has, yeah. So especially when we're going into sort of tournaments and things like that, people have got more options to take what they would like to see in an army as opposed to what they had to take.
So I can have my entire beehive of little recce troops buzzing around the board.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Being a pain in the ass.
With a troop of challengers as support, Whereas before you could take one or the other, or maybe even a reduced section of both. It's maybe one of those things that people haven't really thought of, but it's something we've brought into World War III Team Yankee from Flames of War. It's something that worked in version 4 very well. Brought it across, and it just means that people get a bit more option in their playstyle and things for it.
That's cool. That is a lot to have crammed into a book release.
I know, considering it's just gone like this. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's release a book and then new models and this and then new playstyles. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and as usual as well, we've got all the background for all of our new vehicles in here, all the new tanks. There's some great pictures. At the back, you've got the technical specs and a little bit of background on how the different tanks were made as well. And what that basically means is that you can get all the history as well of these units, even though they necessarily didn't fight each other, Soviets versus Americans, British against potentially East Germans or anything like that. What you do get is this is a real what-if scenario. Yeah,
that's what I like about I don't know what to categorise this as anymore. Historical fantasy almost. Hopefully, it's not going to be accurate.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, touch wood.
Dates need to change. But you do get a lot of the lore, the actual information about the vehicles. I like that. I like a book which is more than just a rule book.
Absolutely, we've crammed so much information in here. The opening pages is the background to what World War III could have been. So you don't even need the full rulebook, which has a lot of storyline in it, because you've just got the specific what happened to this. So the British Army of the Rhine is what obviously the British book focuses on. So it's got a bit of background there, whereas if you pick up the full rule book, you've got the overview of the Cold War, how it began, and everything else. So,
Well, the individual books now, obviously, they're different internally, right? Will that have... This has got the overview, and then this goes into more detail for the British. If I pick up one of the other armies, it gives you more information about that.
Absolutely,
so you've actually got a library worth of building.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So you've got everything you need. So the overview is the whole theatre. So you've got sort of the top of Denmark right the way down to almost Italy, and sort of the Yugoslavian border and things like that. And then the individual army books will actually do a sector or an area where that army fought. So the British Army of the Rhine were actually in 3 sectors. But each formation, whether it's the 1st Armoured or the 3rd British Company in that as well, you've got everybody. So you've got the 1st Army and the 3rd Armoured Division. That's what I should always remember. But basically, it's where each one fought, you can actually tailor it.
Right.
And then at the back of the book as well, the designers actually managed to fit in some scenarios as well.
Yeah.
So the beauty of these scenarios is there's 3 scenarios which test how you've put your army together that are specific for the British. So there's sort of suggested points totals. At the back of the actual rulebook, you get a few generic scenarios, but these are specific to how the British feel within the background of Team Yankee.
That's quite good.
And then after you've done your 3 scenarios, what they then set up is a nice 12 by 6 foot gaming board, which is all 3 scenarios
12 by
together.
6 foot.
Yeah. So that's in there, and it is absolutely huge board. We are actually going to be putting this together ourselves in the office.
I've seen quite large ones at your open day.
Yes,
Really,
well this
really
is
large
just
ones.
as big as one of those, but instead of it being long and thin, it's short and stubby, but it's 12 by 6, and it's all 3 scenarios together, which is absolutely insane,
This
really,
is
to play through.
So if any of you guys want to rent our gaming hall, we've got space for that.
You could do a 12 by 6 British scenario of the British versus the Russians, and it's brilliant. It's a great scenario.
In the back of obviously the main rulebook, you've got. Is that in the British one as well?
So that's not in the British one, no. So that's the there's the quick reference guide,
quick
basically.
reference guide.
Yeah, you don't have that in here because in here this is more the technical specifications. What you do have though is the full product listing of everything that we do for the role, including product codes, so we can get them from retailers.
And all the variants of it actually pictured.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool,
so you've got everything you need in there. I mean, I think the Abbott Field there as well is an older kit, but it's got it there as well. It tells you if it's plastic as well. It tells you what comes in the box. It's got an actual sort of product listing on there.
All plastic.
You've also got a painting guide as well, so it just shows you what you can do with the infantry, how to paint camouflage.
That's nice.
Yeah, you've got the colour.
These are 15mm scale though, so.
They are, so they've actually got an actual size of them, so as you can see, it's there.
I'm not sure if my camo painting is up to that at 15mm scale.
Come and see me, I'll show you how, it's absolutely fine. Same with the 15mm on the tanks as well, so you've got obviously your small tanks, but it shows you how to do them, which we've obviously got a few examples of there. And then the beautiful thing in this book as well is it also shows you the starter force. So anybody who's never played British that wants to go, we've got this great value starter force. And in this starter force, you've got all the tanks, everything it explains. You've got a copy of the rule book as well. There's a mini rule book in there.
That's good.
Hasn't got the background, but it's got the full rules.
Just a player's book.
Just to, essentially, to start off with. We still recommend you buy the hardback version because that's got the background that tells you why you're fighting. Why do we fight and things like that. But that's the set that's coming out with the book and the unit cards as well.
I guess anyone that's doing bigger games, playing at a club or something, the mini book's helpful.
Yeah, they're helpful to
this
get
is hardback and you can't roll it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas the small ones, if you're just playing a game, are great. You can even lend them to a friend, give them to a friend, get them playing as well. It's really good. And with the army deals, you get everything to play a 100-point game in there, give or take. There's a few points difference, but we always recommend in there as well what our army is, what we've added to it to make it 100
that
points.
looked like there was quite a few units, more than 20 maybe in that.
There was a lot of units. So what you're actually looking at is 5 challengers, 2 chieftains, so that's sort of 2 units.
It's already nearly halfway.
You've got 2 warriors in there because they're set up as the Milan version rather than the mechanised company. And then you've also got the Scorpions, Scimitars, the MLRS are in that box as well. The Fox Recce, some helicopters, all the magnets that you need. I say the rule books, some decal sheets as well, which is a new one we're putting into the army boxes to have your decals. And then we've also, got the unit cards as well. So in that box, we've actually got everything you need to start playing.
Unit cards are a massive one for me. I really like unit cards. Just for everything I play. Quick reference. I'm always photocopying quick reference pages and stuff just to make it easy.
Well, that's the great thing about sort of your half-size A4, the A5 mini rulebooks. Just have it open with the quick reference that's in the large book as well. I love unit cards myself. I love having them out on the table just so that I can quick reference.
Makes you feel more like that commander. When they're all laid out.
You've got these stats of where to go. The central nerve centre of the battle, and you just move things across, absolutely. So it's a really great book. I'm really excited when it came and sat on my desk, and I quickly went through it. The only thing I'm disappointed at is that I can't start playing right this minute. The models are still arriving to us. They are literally ready to come into the warehouse. As soon as they come in, they're going to start shipping. So I will be getting it at the same time as customers.
On sale now? Or?
So the books are actually released mid-February.
Yeah, I should know that because obviously
them coming in.
We sell them.
So they're in the warehouse. They're all set and ready to go for obviously out to retailers and to customers on mail order and things like that. They are ready to go. It's just mid-February release. We're going to hit that button and it will basically start shipping straight away as soon as we can for it. Cool. We'll be good to go, I guess, for that one. So there you go. That's your little overview, really, for your British book.
Well, that's perfect. So that's a lot for a book. We are just talking about a book right now.
Yeah, no models, actually, other than what we've grabbed so far. Yeah.
So we're going to crack the models out in a minute, and we will take a look at each one of those and what they've got coming for the models. But yeah, book, you'll be able to find it on the website for, getting it ready for February.
Absolutely.
It's on pre-order with you guys?
Yeah, so it's pre-ordered through the website, and it'll be through major retailers as well, ready to go on that one. So same as Goblin Gaming, they guys will have it on the website. And yeah.
Awesome.
Ready to go.
So, cool. Check it out if you want to add some, more British, more formations, newer models, newer vehicles to your games.